Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here, returning to you for a special video tonight. Hopefully you will enjoy this video tonight because we're going to be talking about the curious case of Taylor Swift and what she's been doing lately. It's a rant video, so basically I'm going to discuss what I'm going to be talking about in this rant video tonight for the curious case of Taylor Swift / rant, and let you know my thoughts on it's parentheses rant, I guess. Let you know my thoughts on what I think of this artist as of lately. So let's dive into this special video. Now, she started off as a country singer in 2005 or 6 with the R Song and Teardrops on My Guitar, and when she was a country singer, it was fine. Fearless came out 2 years later in 2008. I think she started in 06, if I'm being honest. And then Fearless came out in 2008. And that album was a hit, pretty much. Yeah, there were some songs that were kind of on the fence with me, but it's still, the majority of those tracks were not that terrible, in my opinion. But then comes Sparks Fly 2010. That's fine, I guess. Not anything special. But this is where the curious case of Taylor Swift starts to begin with the album Red. So Red is apparently over a decade old now. It's like 12 years old now. And it had some cringy tracks, I'm gonna be honest with you. There were some tracks that I didn't hate. The title track, Red, is not terrible. The opening track, State of Grace, was not terrible. It was actually one of my favorite tracks. All Too Well's kind of, it was overhyped, personally. I don't hate that track, I think it's a little overhyped as of lately. And overplayed too much on the radio, too. And some of the other tracks, like Message in a Bottle from the Taylor's Version album, where she did a 10-year anniversary to that in 2022, like late 2022. But basically, to sum it up, Sparks Fly was another solid hit from what I listened to, like Back to December and all that. But to continue where I left off, we get 22 after All Too Well, and that is a kind of iffy. It's not great, but it's just kind of pop friendly in a way. We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together was that was not a good song. I just think she talked about her exes too much. I Knew You Were Trouble was another one that you can easily make fun of that track, honestly. It's unfortunately laughable. But still, all in all, that's where the curious case of Taylor Swift with her cringiness comes in. Then it gets even worse with 1989, because that's a full-on pop record. She goes pop through the remainder of her career. Pop, then folk, then pop again. So basically, it just doesn't stop. She goes pop all the way to 2019, then does the Folklore and Evermore albums, which, keep in mind, I actually did enjoy those records. But honestly, give me a second, guys. I gotta pause the video. Sorry about the phone call, guys. My mom was calling me for a second, but basically, to sum it up, 1989 came out to continue my story, and that's where the album started sucking, honestly. Wildest Dreams was okay, wasn't anything great. Bad Blood was crap. Shake It Off was crap. I just can't stand Shake It Off. The way she's singing it is awful. Out of the Woods was fine. Style was fine. Blank Space, that song can get fucked, because she keeps talking about her fucking exes in that track. It's like, try writing a song that doesn't talk about that all the time. I mean, Welcome to New York was not a bad start, but the album was filled with some cringe. All you had to do was stay was crap. Style, like I said, not a terrible song, not my favorite, but it's in the middle with me. It's alright. It's a decent track. Out of the Woods was fine. Didn't hate that track, but it was a little pop friendly and overhyped. Bad Blood, nope. That song is a nope. Don't like it. But it gets even worse where she calls out her critics in the next record. Reputation. Which she's probably going to be doing a Taylor's version for that in the next... I would have to say in the next 3 years from now, because technically the record came out in 2017. So she's still got time to get that Taylor's version for it ready. But keep in mind, I am not a fan of Taylor Swift anymore. I used to be, but after the Evermore record, she started sucking even more. And we are going to be talking about her new upcoming record at the end of this video. But to continue with Reputation, Ready for It, nope. Endgame is it's fine. And then there were some other ones like the third track on the record was kind of no. I'd have to look at her whole discography for Taylor Swift Reputation. But honestly, that record was pretty misfire. It was pretty much a misfire. It just, no. So, looking at it now, Ready for It, Endgame, Delicate, that one was a little not so great. I don't know, it was just too pop friendly. It was not very amazing. And from I Did Something Bad, that's the song I was thinking of. And Don't Blame Me just was boring as shit. Look What You Made Me Do. What the fuck was that track? That song was so annoying. So It Goes is not great, but it's okay. It's kind of tad bit boring, if I'm being honest. Gorgeous was it's kind of no. King of My Heart was kind of mixed, really bad, honestly. Getaway Car was a little pop friendly, and I just didn't care for it. Dancing with Our Hands Tied was okay. Dress, no, I just didn't care for that. This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things is kind of, no. Call It What You Want, actually, did not hate that track, if I'm being honest. There were still some hits on a couple songs that were okay on Reputation, but the overall record was pretty bad, if I'm being honest. But still, Reputation was a flop. It is one of her worst. Until we get to Lover. And that one was too long for, and too unnecessary of a record. Lover was kind of boring. I just didn't feel for that song, honestly. I Forgot That You Existed was crap. I hated that track. Cruel Summer was, The Man was, The Archer, no. I Think He Knows, I don't really care. Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince, no. Cornelia Street, You Need to Calm Down was a no. Me was kind of overhyped in a sense, and pretty much that's where we get to some of the Taylor's versions of this video, and I know it's going to be a very lengthy video, but keep in mind we will breeze through it as quickly as I can. This is where we get into some good records that I actually enjoyed from her discography. Keep in mind, her beginning discography from albums 1 to 3 were alright. But when you get to Red and the other cringy albums, that's where a decline goes in with her material, and it does not do so good. So pretty much Folklore was one of my favorite records in 2020. I really enjoyed it. Cardigan, nice track. There were some other tracks like Betty and Exile was not too terrible, but overall the record impressed me for how it sounded. So basically after that we get her 9th record, Evermore, and that was actually another good record. I mean, it was folk kind of stuff, alternative, indie, folk pop, but it did sound good. That was probably her best material. Willow, No Body, No Crime, Coney Island, fine, I guess. But there were some hits and misses with Evermore, but the title track was the best song to close the record. Fearless, Taylor's version wasn't terrible, but it was a little overhyped in a sense. A lot of people liked it. But honestly, there were still some tracks like You Belong With Me that was kind of hit or miss. It wasn't terrible, but it was fine for the time it came out. Oh, so Taylor's version came out in 2021. Technically, the record came out in 2012, but hey, that's fine. Then she released Midnights. This is her 10th studio album, the last official record that she released, and God, that sucked. Antihero is crap. Lavender Haze, no. Karma, let's be honest here. Midnights was one of her worst records to date. And people that say it's all good and everything, like 8 stars and all that, like, what the fuck are you thinking? This record is vigilante shit was crap, if I'm being honest. There were some other tracks like Mastermind, nope. It's Different, nope. But overall, the whole record is a flop of a record. So basically, Midnights can go fuck itself and bury itself in the dirt, if I'm being honest. So, I just don't care for it. Speak Taylor's version was decent, but nothing quite amazing, if I'm being honest. And then we get to the last thing she released, her 4th re-recorded album, 1989 Taylor's version, which was god-awful trash. So, and finally, this is where we get to the last thing that she is going to be putting out April 19th. The Tortured Poets Department. And this is where I'm going to read off the track list. Fortnite, featuring Post Malone, The Tortured Poets Department. What the hell is that meaning anyway? My boy only breaks his favorite toys. You know that's going to suck, if I'm being honest. Down Bad. Don't care for that. So Long London. Nah. Like, honestly, But Daddy, I Love Him, that sounds a little cringy. If I'm being honest, the title itself is just no. Fresh Out the Slammer. Like, these titles are stupid. Honestly, some of these titles are stupid. I mean, So Long London, it sounds odd. Florida, featuring Florence and the Machine, I don't really care. Guilty as Sin, okay title, but not anything great. Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? As of now, no one gives a shit. So, I Can Fix Him, no really I can, that's even more cringy. So, what the fuck? Love of My Life, that's fine, I guess. I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. This is even worse. The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. That sounds like she's making fun of short people. Like, are you fucking for real, Taylor Swift? This is how I'm viewing your tracks. The Alchemy, Clara Bow, and Manuscript as the bonus track, I guess. So overall, majority of those titles suck. And, But Daddy, I Love Him was crap. I haven't heard the song, to be honest, but from what I've gathered, most of these titles look like shit. From what I've gathered. But overall, it's just... This is where we're going to talk about something else. She is getting political, too, in the media. About, vote for Biden and all that. And she is a leftist, if I'm being honest. Hey, more power to you, I guess. But keep in mind, no one really wants to hear your fucking political views publicly. Like, put that shit aside and talk about something else. But honestly, this is where I have an issue with Taylor Swift. When, she just is becoming so relevant in the media. It's like she's the talk of the town as of 2024. And I think her new album is going to be a misfire. The Tortured Poets department is going to suck big time. So, with what I've been seeing for the track list, it's awful cringe. I think eventually she's going to probably release Reputation, Taylor's version, in due time. But honestly, that record was trash, if I'm being honest. 1989 was crap with the Shake It Off song. The song is just annoying cringe, and it's very overhyped and overplayed. But it's just like I mean, I don't hate her as a person, but keep your political beliefs, whatever things you have to say, to yourself. Like, don't even fucking mention it, because you're gonna have a lot of disagreements with some people. And some people are not gonna like what you're saying, but honestly, the Swifties are even more crazy. Because, to be 100% honest, they are crazy fanatic fans. And they will do anything to attack you, including Zach G, keep in mind, which he's Taylor Swift simp, in my honest opinion. And he can go fuck himself. So, pretty much all in all, it's like, Taylor Swift, you just can't even escape from reading an article about her. And pretty much, she's going to be the talk of the town for the next few months. So, with that being said in this video, that's what I wanted to go into deep explanation in on the curious case of Taylor Swift, parentheses rant, because I don't really care about her. I mean, I used to like her music, but as of now, she's becoming very annoying as an artist. And every time she makes I gotta expose this person because they dumped me, this guy or whatever, because they dumped me, and she's gonna go, look what you made me do, part 2. Like, who fucking cares? Like, just, please get over it. Please don't even bring that into discussion anymore, because you're not gonna really have people agreeing with, I'm trying to word it right, but agreeing with what you're talking about in a song. But overall, she gets very political and is very much a leftist and extremist in that manner. And really no one wants to hear that crap. And I know she's dating Travis Kelce, which honestly, I think the Chiefs cheated, if I'm being honest, for that win. It was all fucking set up. And I'm done with the NFL too, keep in mind. I wanted to talk about Taylor Swift in that special video with the 2024 Super Bowl sucked. But there was one good thing about the Super Bowl, keep in mind. The one good thing was basically Usher's performance. That was really good. But everything else about the Super Bowl was trash. So if I were to rate it, 5.5 out of 10, to be honest. Because I'm only bumping it up because Usher's performance was the best thing. It was a strong 10 out of 10. Because he did really good with his performance. But all in all, keep in mind this is all just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me on it. And Zach G, if you're watching this, big fuck you to you and your idol. You worship Taylor Swift. Who fucking cares what you think? You don't even respect people's opinions either. So, you got no room to talk. But all in all, I hope you enjoyed this video of the curious case of Taylor Swift, parentheses rant, and I will do another video as soon as I can, and I'll see you in my next review.